the wig and the eyebrows. The eyebrows really landed the plane because without them, sometimes I just looked
I
like
can
Kris
imagine.
Jenner in a baggy shirt, but with the eyebrows, it's like, oh yeah, there's like a little boy and there's a little dude in there.
First day as a sophomore, how does it feel?
Exhilarating.
Come and get it.
Tomorrow morning, I'm gonna double up on my protein supplements and ask for my damn respect.
My turn.
I'm not doing a piggyback right now.
Well, happy to talk to you, Nasim. Definitely not looking like Chad, so I'm happy about that too.
Well, probably a good thing. Probably a good thing for my own life.
Well, that too. I think you're like a comedian. A comedian, yes, you are. Chameleon, I meant. Because I don't know if anyone on this planet could pull off Kim Kardashian and Chad at the same time being the same person.
That Venn diagram definitely leaves a very small overlap, which I guess is me in this case, but what a joy to get to do both.
It must be. I'm conflicted. I was conflicted watching. I figured out that I think you can watch this show two different ways. There's two perspectives to watch it. The perspective of you just go into the make-believe world and you believe Chad, is Chad like everyone around him, or you watch it thinking it's you, and then you're like, holy shit, I can't believe she's doing all this every episode, and all this stuff you say and do. I think there's two different perspectives. I was wondering if you thought about how viewers might see you on this show as or would want them to see you as you kind of doing this role of Chad, or just commit to the Chad.
It's so funny you say that because that's actually a great way of putting it. Yes, the goal is not to like trick people into thinking he's an actual 14-year-old boy. Obviously, it's a grown woman playing a boy, but I just thought because teenagers don't know what's so funny about a teenager, I really felt like you could push the comedy a lot further if all right, we're watching this awkwardness unfold with an adult who has that perspective on why teenagers are so funny playing the teenager. That being said, the goal isn't to constantly remind you of that. You also want to just lose me in the character, and hopefully you're willing to suspend your disbelief enough to just laugh at how ridiculous the character is. But yeah, you're right. There's a couple things going on.
They did a good job. I mean, with the hair, the clothes. I mean, I was still like, when I saw you have distinct, nice, big lips. Okay, there's no guy that could ever pull that off. So I was just like, your eyes, you have like such prominent eyes.
Honestly, it's all makeup. I mean, you can transform girls as well to look slightly different girls. No, it was a true joy disappearing into Chad with the help of that wardrobe and the wig and the eyebrows. The eyebrows really landed the plane because without them, sometimes I just looked like Kris Jenner in a baggy shirt, but with the eyebrows, it's like, oh yeah, there's like a little boy and there's a little dude in there, which was obviously super helpful for the performance as well.
No question. Was this ever an idea at the SNL tables? Like, because I thought this could have been a great SNL character to get its origins there. How far? Because obviously the show now we get the second season now, but the first one debuted a few years back, and this has been an idea before that. So this has been a character with you for a while here.
Many years of my life, yeah.
Yeah. Has this ever been
long it takes to get things made sometimes?
Was this a thought when you were on this show on SNL that, this sort of Chad character? Because I thought it could have been an amazing character on the show if it ever debuted. But how far back did you have this thought and this character and this idea?
I mean, honestly, listen, I've trafficked in playing little boys on SNL, but no, this truly came after I left the show, after I decided to create my own thing when I was trying to brainstorm ideas for it. I think, rightfully so, the network that I had an overall deal with, they assumed I'd write a show where I'm a girl dating in a big city. And I was like, what about this way crazier idea? And to their credit, they were concerned, but let me proceed. And it's been a labor of love ever since. I knew that it would be obviously very weird to some people, and I get it. Like most out there ideas, you expect to be met with some resistance, but I really believed in it. I knew it was funny. I so clearly saw the character that once I understood who he was and how he related to the other characters on the show, I was like, this is the show I want to make. And I was lucky enough that, I found a home for it then. And when the merger happened, after I had shot season 2, so many shows went away because of that merger. And I'm just incredibly lucky that ours survived and that Roku scooped it up, and now it gets to be in more homes than ever, and you can stream it for free, which is so cool.
I just think the amazing thing is there's one thing about pitching a show like this, but actually seeing it, it's a whole different experience. I can just imagine those pitch meetings. When you have people, sometimes executives, they want something straight laced that they can understand. That's been a formula that's been done before. This is not a formula. This is a completely original idea. How hard was it navigating those ideas to just project it without, in a sense, people seeing it, just kind of getting this started? I'm sure this is a tough pitch to make, to convince some of these, executives and all to bring this to life.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I was really lucky that I had just enough of them that did understand the vision for it to continue to, by the skin of its teeth, get to the next phase. But there were times where, like, I remember even writing the very first draft of the original pilot, which was set up at Fox, with the Studio 20th. They loved the script, but even at that stage were like, what about you playing the mom? And I was like, ooh, that's the whole show is me playing.
Different show.
I so understood the impulse, because obviously it would make so much sense for me to play the mom, and yet the fun of it for me was embodying that character. And obviously this is like before Pen 15, and since then I feel like there have been so many interesting swings, like the ones on specifically Pen 15, that those girls are so brilliant, and it feels maybe a little less scary now. But yeah, certainly at the time that I was pitching it, there was great concern as to whether or not we could actually pull it off. And then once the show came out and I saw that people were really responding to it, and that comedy people really thought it was funny, I was like, okay, we all came together as this family to execute this vision. And it was so cool to know that it was resonating with people. And now to get a second season, for the Chad heads out there, like we do so much fun stuff with the character this season. I really am like, it's so fun to promote something you actually love and believe in. So I'm grateful to be able to.
I'll wrap by asking, what did you learn from Chad? I mean, from wanting something that you can incorporate to your life and something you would not want that Chad possesses. Like, is there something that was distinct to you to like, oh, you know what, I kind of would incorporate it into my own life, and something like, no, I'm never touching that. That's Chad only.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I appreciate his tenacity and his resilience. I would say my main note for Chad would be, he's so desperate to be cool, when really the coolest thing is to just be comfortable with who you are. And so much of that character is running away from who he is. And the cool thing about season 2 is we give him a little bit of peace with reconciling with his identity, and we get him to grow just a little bit. It's still the same funny character, but that question is posed. What if I a little bit embraced my immigrant background? And obviously it was done with humor at the helm, but that, I think, is the biggest lesson, is that if he just got out of his own way more, the other kids would have been completely fine with him. He was his own worst enemy in a lot of ways.
That's well said. There's a lot of messages you can take away from the show too. So it's thoughtful, bold, and I've been a longtime fan of your work, but it's cool to see something really original in a world of remakes and all that sort of superheroes. It's cool to have an original idea that you birthed from your mind, and keep doing original work. You've always been a creative and someone that kind of does things, out there, which is the best way to be a bold creative.
That means so much to me, and thank you so much. I really appreciate it, and you got it. Thank you.
Thank you, Nasim. Hope to catch up with you on season 3 or another great show.
Oh my gosh, I hope so too. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. really appreciate it.
Come and get it. Dude, if it's come and get it.